Hello, this is Director Marlon Green. Hello, everyone. I want to say hi. Welcome to the show. Today, we will be talking about blessings. How do you know if you're being used by Satan or you've blessed? And so we're going to go through a couple of concepts, and my particular view does not necessarily reflect everyone else's. I'm just calling the shots. This is my show. I call the shots. So, and we're going to talk about a couple of things. How do you know? Hey, well, first of all, let me say this one thing. To the American media, you're a bunch of frauds. You will go get the most arrogant, the most misguided, and the most conflicted person you can find and make them a hero. That shit is over. Just like when you tried to steal a draft, when I talked about the stars on the shoulders, well, in culture, in American culture, this was started by the Russians, but a lot of other people have adopted it to their culture. And what I mean by that is the stars on the shoulders. Well, I'm just saying from my experience, when I was in the federal print, they had a few guys. Well, I wasn't looking at them naked, but when you take showers, you see guys, naked, and sometimes they have their shirt off, and then you'll see them when it's hot. So you'll see the tattoo. So normally, the tattoos that go on your shoulders here and here, they got to be at least 4 points, because if they do 3, it's going to look like a Mercedes sign. And unless you from the Mercedes family, you shouldn't be kicking that. Really, you shouldn't be kicking none of this shit if you ain't about it. Whatever you tat on you, that's your identity. That's where you from. That's where you about. Now, if you fuck around and do something stupid like tattoo you from the Magnolia Projects and you ain't from there, you're going to have a lot of bad luck. I'm just letting you know. How do you know if you're blessed or being used by Satan? The number one reason you can tell if you're blessed or being used by Satan: consistency. One thing that I have noticed in the Bible is that if he does give you something, you have it. The problem is now we not getting nothing from him. He not giving it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, we're not spiritually strong or mature. And when I say that, is because we are still not confronting racism and bigotry directly. They still have not renounced the KKK. The Democratic Party will tell you to vote for Satan and people like Hillary Clinton that mean you no good. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama are straight degenerates, straight misleading the whole 8 years. And Michelle Obama should have been charged with treason for impersonating a woman, and it's really a man. And how do you know if you're blessed or being used by Satan? Another reason, you tend to shy away from other people that are working harder than you. In other words, America has been breeding their females to substandards for a very long time. And many people cannot step out of their time and look back into the past and judge causes and cases. I can't. It's just like if I see an empty space and I expect the tree to be there and the tree is not there, obviously they did not plant the seed or put the tree there. Now, in reverse, if I plant a seed, I I can be assured that if everything goes right, that tree is going to be there. And so let's say you plant a tree and it got a good start and you have to leave. If the tree got a good start, that tree will be much bigger. So in blessings, it can start off as a small tree and grow into a big tree. But what are the circumstances of that big tree? Are your blessings spreading, or are you really spoiled and are selfish? In other words, do you mind other people having more than you? Most people do, even though they wouldn't admit it. And so how do you know if you're cursed or blessed? People like, I can give you a couple examples. People like millionaire Tom Benson, the New Orleans Saints. This is a prime example. You can do your research if you want. He doesn't run good business practices, so that carries the jinx. He's all about the whole himself, his family, and everything around Louisiana revolves around this man. This man is so powerful, he can manipulate the federal courts. That's how powerful he is. Everybody kisses up to him because he's a big fish in a little pond, and you really can't do anything without going through people like him, because most of 98% of the wealth is going to 2% of the richest families in Louisiana, and that's by design. And they will predatory police you. They will ticket you. They will harass you. They will get anything that they can do to raise their income and justify this with any means that they see fit. They'll make shit up, in a heartbeat. How do you know if you're being used or you're being blessed? Because your situation would improve. Even though I don't agree with a lot of the mainstream media, I'm way more successful than they are because I'm more solid and I'm more consistent. A lot of people, they go through life thinking that you can pray and everything will fall down in your lap. But what really is going on is people are spoiling you and showing you favoritism. And this is not God's favor. God's favor is very rare. A lot of people don't have God's favor. They just have God's permission because they do a lot of bullheaded things, and solid leaders, could tell. And so if you're a judge and you do stuff like you go behind people back and you tell them don't sign notaries, you're a dishonorable judge. And so everything you give people is a curse. A dishonorable judge will put the clerk of courts, like in Denton County. The clerk of courts is supposed to be well educated, well versed in the law, not give out advice. That's not their job to give out advice. Be very diligent. I go there, try to do paperwork. Sometimes they be exposed to paperwork to third parties. The clerk doesn't have a degree. She's not a paralegal. She's not a lawyer, but she's in the clerk of courts head administrative position. And anything good that comes out that is a curse because it's done under false pretenses. So if you do bad things and do good things, you might as well just stay doing bad things because good leaders are consistent. Now, they might have to do bad things, but they're not just going to go resort to it just to get the quick results. They're going to try to avoid it if they can, but that does not mean that they're going to let you get the advance on them and let you crush them just because you're having a bad day. And so I would advise people that Whenever somebody's trying to fight you to bring you down, and they trying to come up and bring you down and start their prosperity off of bringing you down, don't fight them. You can resist and stay diligent, you will get gains. Because the universe states you can only get so much blood from a turnip. And what that means is you could spend 3 times as much on one turnip than the other. You're going to still get the same amount of juice. You know what I'm saying? So whether if you under the same conditions, whether you crush the beet for 1 day or 2 days, after you get the last out, ain't no more coming out. And so when you use all of this erratic energy talking about you're never going to tell anybody, you're not going to say what's up, you're not going to give it, you don't have no fucking plan. And at the last minute, if you think you're going to put together something at the last minute after not telling everybody what you going to do, and you think it's going to fall in the right place, it's not. And another thing I'm not going to let do. The devil has a way of micromanaging good workers' time against them. And so what I mean by that is, if you're gifted and you're potential, more than likely he's not going to put you on the most important assignment. He's going to put you on a smaller assignment because he don't want you outgrowing faster than his expectancy rate. And so all through my life, I've outgrown my expectancy rate while most people stayed in the same environment. Even though they prospered more than I did as far as financial wealth, they don't have the experience, they don't have the determination, they don't have the assertiveness to say no, they don't have the critical thinking, they don't have the courage to go into uncharted territory. And so LeBron James with the stars on his shoulder, that's not the same respect as in federal prison, the stars of respect. That means we bow to no man. And if the stars are on their knees, they kneel to no man. Now, Russians aren't the only one that uses this concept in cultural art. A lot of the gangs and a lot of the other people starting to use it too, because it's such a powerful symbolic symbol that anybody looking at it, they not gonna question you. But you can't go tatting that shit if you're not about it, because the rest of them gonna know about you. And if they don't vouch for you, you're gonna have a lot of problems. A lot of them. And so, how do you know if you are blessed or being cursed? Because your homeboy and your family is not rising with you. Now, they might not rise at the same rate, but they should be rising, okay? It shouldn't be a king and a bunch of poor peasants. You know, the king shouldn't live in a big-ass, huge-ass palace and all of the little bitty peasants in raggedy straw houses. You can't even stay warm, man. That's not a king I want to serve. That's not a leader that I want to serve. You know, I don't want to serve a leader that don't like black people and always talking about God and know they're not the chosen people either, and they're gonna treat us like shit. And you know what I'm saying? You took every fucking thing from us, and then you know how else you know y'all cursed? Because our women are fucking lazy. No matter how much the man do, they're gonna always find the easier way out. Now, this is not for everybody, but they'd rather fuck with the white guys with money than their own guys and invest that little bit of time and probably get more. If you offer them a way out of the rut, they're not coming out of rut. If a girl even pretends that she is crying, guys gonna come running to her, even if she don't need the help. In retrospect, you can see a homeless guy passed out, but nobody might not even come check on him. You know why? Because that's been bred into you all. And if it was me, whether you man or woman, if I can't help you, at least I'll call 911, call emergency. I'm not just going to see like it's hot as a fuck and I see a man laying out in the middle of the street and everybody walking up and down, especially the women. The women should be able to do that because especially when you fall out, they have many men attending you. If a man fall out, you'll be lucky if one of y'all even call 911. And that's some more bullshit. And let me tell you how you curse and not bless. Is when you leave your good man or your good boyfriend for a married guy that only spoils you. That's not going to last. That's temporary pleasure. You all are using each other. You using him for child support. He using you for pussy. Y'all shouldn't have never been together anyway because he was married and that shouldn't have never been. And so, and now it's 10 years later. You want me to friend you and I decline. And so since I decline, you the only one disliking my work and consistently disliking my work. That's bullshit. How to tell if you're blessed or cursed? If the women are running your establishment and you're the manager. Like at Salvation Army, there's this chaplain Ron Hall. He's not even running the Salvation Army. His secretary is. Ain't no telling if he fucked her or not, or they got him on blackmail. Because a lot of this shit happens in New Orleans, Louisiana, like a lot of places every fucking where else. They do scandalous shit, and these women, they don't give a fuck, man. They are greedy, man. They don't know when to stop. And I'm glad the NBA and everybody else respected my decision to stop this lean in campaign. Because if there any fucking body you should lean into is men like me, African American like me, all-American Army airborne ass-kicking motivator you could never be, the one that beat y'all into the Hall of Fame with no budget, the one who getting things done without praying. You know why I'm not praying? Because God's disciples has no discipline. And so when y'all don't have no discipline, I'm not expecting anything from you or God, because y'all tend to let the world, even though you claim God and God is sleeping, dictate your schedule, dictate your thinking, and dictate your relationships. None of that is happening with me. You're not going to tell me what to do. If y'all not listening to us, we're not going to listen to you. And if Illuminati would have predicted shot callers, he would have bought us off too. And if you're God, you should be able to supply your brightest sons with at least a decent girlfriend or wife. You can't even do that. You can't. You cannot. The only thing that you can promise us is a better afterlife. Well, the rent need to be paid in this life. And as a leader, I don't wait till the last minute or wait till my workers need something to give it to them. That's diligence. God is not diligent. He's not. He is not diligent, and he is not consistent. He will fight your spiritual battle, but you're not winning no wars. You cannot consult the oracle for victory. The spirits will not help you traverse treacherous terrain. They will not help you forecast the weather. They will not help you get intelligence on the enemy. They will not help you exercise to be stronger. It's all on you. It's all on me. And if you're not doing your job, I'm going to tell you. And I am not about to let God think that the black woman is just going to come home to some broke ass niggas after being bought or sold for 1,600 years, 400 years just in America. We don't fucking need you. Because if you tell me to build a house and you don't give me no supplies, How are you expect to get anything real out of that? And if you are God and you don't give it to me, you tell me to build a house and I gotta supply, what do I need you for? I don't need you. I don't. The rest of those blacks are spiritually stupid. And if you're in a rut, you can't fix anything. They're not fixing anything. They're making improvements, but they're not fixing anything. I'm fixing it. You know how I know I'm fixing it? Because they're attacking my credit. They're attacking my reputation. And they have not prospered. You know why they have not prospered? Because I resisted and fought back. Not because God told them to stop. Either you understand this or you don't. Now, you can respect them. And thanks for the DNA, but everything else is on you. I am not going to let the spirits dictate what I do next. I am not. It's just not going to fucking happen. It's not. Also, Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson just left the New Orleans Saints either this year or late last year season, and already they improved. Now, they were at New Orleans Pelicans for 5-6 years and have never done this well. The very next year that Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon goes to Houston, Eric Gordon wins the 6th Man of the Year award. So why couldn't he win the 6th Man of the Year award at New Orleans with 6 years? Simple. Because number one, Mr. Benson and his family are the fucking jinx, okay? And they put everybody in position that they know real tight with in their family. And there's a lot of nepotism going on. And when there's a lot of nepotism going on, favoritism going on, when favoritism going on, imbalanced workloads equals injuries, unnecessary delays, and inconsistencies. And that's another example. Who else? Every person that leaves the New Orleans Saints does better. Graham. What's his name for the Seahawks now? Jimmy Graham immediately left the Saints and done better. Many of you households are janky. Whenever a man leaves, he does much better. Then you find a way to come back in his life. That shit don't cut it. And then another thing, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you an example how people are. I'm single. I don't have a lot of extra change, so that's really what the women want these days. But they don't have no fucking extra change either. I'm single. My neck hurt. My back hurt. I can't even get a girlfriend for a free massage. I'm not fucking buying no pussy. I'm not buying no massage from no girlfriend. And I'm not going to be out there in the street. I just rather have a girlfriend or a fuck buddy or whatever y'all call it these days, because a lot of y'all send all these fucking mixed messages and don't know what the fuck you doing. And I don't have no girlfriend. You got 6 fucking boyfriends and I don't have no girlfriends. Soon as I get financially stable, all of the girls make themselves available. You fuck one of them, all of them won't fuck you. And then they blame everything on you. Because now everybody trying to get on in your face because you got a little something. It's a dead fucking giveaway. The only reason why you own to these guys is because of little change. And if anybody is fucking blessed and can say anything they want, it's me, because I've been right the whole time, and my success and my victories prove it, even though y'all have more money. Y'all have more money, we have more respect. And somewhere in between, there's going to have to be an even exchange.